The only thing weird is like maybe he plays both the SF and I think his Ember is absolutely sick. I think he plays top 3 Ember.
Is this when you can't run an Ember versus a Bat Rider, right?
I think it's going to be SF. I don't really like safe lane SF.
So
I've never seen Ember versus Bat. To be honest, most of my experience does come from pub games and the competitive games I've watched. And in pub games, I do play Ember a lot, but I don't know if I've ever, in like the last 100 games, played against a Bat Rider mid. That's just not a thing in pubs, right? It's not a carry hero, so pub, like high MMR players just aren't going to play it. Even S4 doesn't play it, I think. He might now that it got buffed, but in the past I know he didn't. And I don't know what it's like in the safe lane either, but Bristleback is the last pick. This really feels like an Alliance draft.
How did like but it was, like you looked at the last 2 bands of LGD. You take out the Broodmother or you take out the Bristleback. Like that's the simple part of it. So now a Coddle, Bristleback off lane, the Rubik Gyro is safe lane. Both have amazing synergy. The Rubik's also really great against the Clockwork. I'm worried that ROTK's initiation is not really going to mean that much for LGD.
It's going to be rough from this game for sure. It's okay against a Gyrocopter. It's a timing-based thing. If the Clockwork gets the Blade Mail in time before you have BKB for very long, it's incredibly good.
But it's just staying close. You got Flame Break as well as Telekinesis that will throw you away.
Yeah, but you can... I don't know. You can lock the Gyro in so he can't deal damage. That's pretty important. It's just a whatchamacallit hero too.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a ROTK player hero.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Roddick.
Yes. All right, let's get into our game. It's LGD. They will take to the field to see if they can force us into a 5th game, a full series. We haven't had one of those in a while. We had 3 of them during the first rounds, but...
V.
Yep.
And V. Those are my 3 favorite Embers. And no one is... oh, no, not no one. Pasha is close there, too. Those are my Ember guys.
You get to enjoy it today, man.
Yeah.
LGD, get a 5-man move into the Radiant jungle.
They all play it slightly differently. They've got the angle on Alliance, but Alliance do have the Gyrocopter. Remember when people thought that fake patch note or whatever was real and they said Gyro would have like this channeling rocket barrage or something that went away with mana? That was unbelievable.
What a good thing that didn't come into the game.
I don't know why people ever believe those fake patch notes. Okay, here we go. ROTK, great cogs block.
But he used it so early, it's still 14 seconds, so the rune's going to spawn.
Yeah, but it was just so that they couldn't get the angle, but it might not matter as EGM. He's going to pick him up. MMY, he's going to get rocket barrage down, but I don't think they have enough follow for this. ROTK, he's got another set of cogs. He's going to get away just fine.
Maybe if RK was able to get to Illuminate in the first place, but he actually went for Chakra as the first one, so he's able to support Admiral Bulldog a lot more.
Yeah, I think he has to. It helps out the laning phase so much more.
Yeah, a lot more valuable than going for something like the kill onto MMY. Yeah, you get first blood, but landing phase is more important. So, did you make up your mind if you're going to be doing play-by-play or if you're going to be doing basic facts?
I just did that for fun. Okay, you want to know? You want to know basic facts? Okay,
yeah, so throw me some basic facts. Let me learn.
Maybe he pulls back the wave. He should reset this right now. Like he's gonna get this 1 CS, but it takes him too long. Like the turn rate isn't worth it. And oftentimes, Toby, what ends up happening is you kind of have to tell yourself as a mid laner, is it worth it for me to get this harass/deny? And now that he's reset it, he can go for this deny. He's probably not going to do it too often because of the sticky napalm, but he should A attack right now on S4 right after this wave ends. There's no reason to do it before because the creep wave is about to die to the tower and push it. But whenever you're playing melee versus range, you almost always want to aggro. It's just in that particular scenario, you're going to get sticky napalm 3 times. And when you're turning around to pull a creep wave, it'll be too late.
Do you actually have that much concern when you're running a stick this early on? Because you got a lot of burst
and
you got the resistance.
You still don't want to, even though stick is really good, the turn rate thing is really annoying. Maybe cancels the animation. If you're within 2 hits as a mid laner, you almost want to always wait for the other guy to play kind of chicken, right? But you can wait it out because the bat only has 46 base damage. That's my rough like 1 minute for you, okay?
I'm good for that 1 minute, man.
Cool.
Yeah. So look towards the top lane down, Sylar. So it is that safe lane SF. Real no issues for Souls. It takes him a while until now where he picks up the stick because he went the boots first. as opposed to going for any kind of stick. I'm interested to see just how much aggression Bulldog can actually apply.
You can do a lot. It's a safe lane SF. That hero's not going to do anything new.
Got a lot of CS. Like, he's actually going to have more CS than SF in just a moment.
Yeah, that's the problem with this, is that he doesn't deal any damage and the kill potential is quite low.
Okay, let's talk about the Coddle's effect in this lane. Now, obviously you got Chakra, but what do you do once you start getting more points up in Illuminate? What's your primary targets here?
I'm not sure. I'm not a Coddle player.
You gotta try it. It's a lot of fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
No disable. Not a carry.
It's the zoning, man. I remember, cause Sebastian used to play a couple of games with me, and he taught me a couple of things about Coddle. And one of the primary things he told me, like when you're playing like this type of lane, like Radiant versus Dire,
Yeah.
the primary thing is to actually control this area on the side and this area on the side. Once you do that, you can basically spam like blasts up this direction.
I think EGM's dead.
Is he?
No, he's not. He shouldn't be. He has Fairy Fire.
He's back.
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay. But the last point of it was the fact that you spam up the wave up here, but you don't actually hit the creep wave. So you get the heroes when they sit back at the tower, and the creep wave is up at this front angle. So you never pushed the creep wave with your Illuminate.
Is it you that used to say Eggum?
Yeah, that was me. I used to say Agam. But you are also calling like Horvorst Xbox 360, and during the entire TI1, I only ever called him Xbox. Because I didn't know how to pronounce his name. I couldn't pronounce his name. Yeah. That was like my first month or two in Europe.
Xbox was just it was a joke, man. I wouldn't call him Eggum seriously. You stubborn bastard, Toby.
Hey, I didn't keep calling him Eggum. I changed it. And there was a couple of people though I didn't change with. And there's a couple of people like where people like most people think I pronounced the name incorrectly, because it's like my accent kicks in and they're just like, oh, what the hell? Like when I say Sven.
Okay, that's fine. It's when you say
no, according to other people, that's completely wrong because it's meant to be. I actually can't even say it correctly.
I think if you say Feta one more time, I'm gonna kill you.
Like I say Fata now. I've actually you've noticed that we cast Team Liquid. Like
I haven't noticed that.
Have you not?
Nope.
That was a deep pushed effort from me to change that.
It's okay, Tober.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, Bulldog's gonna contest over here. He shouldn't be too afraid. Like it's the SF. The thing is, when you're playing against, when you're the offlane against the dual lane like this, Toby, it's you always want to pay attention to what the carry is doing. Like if the carry doesn't rotate over, then you have no fear. You can trade as many hits as you want with the support. Especially when you're level 4, almost level 5 Bristleback. It's when the SF decides to rotate in. But that's kind of the issue with SF, is that it's not like a gyrocopter where you can help chase. You don't have the kill potential.
So let's hear about this from ROTK. It's copying a lot of damage by trying to stay close enough that he can leech the experience, but he doesn't die, so I suppose it's still worthwhile. Drags the creep wave back under his tower, so he's finding levels, and so is Bulldog. You're right, like, then why does Bulldog even care? Like, you get the Fairy Fire up your sleeve, you've still got a salve, and I get to miss EGM's first blood. Maybe rotates down and joins with MMY. Whoops.
That was the longest time coming. He was standing on that side area without a ward for so long. That's why I remember when I initially called it, I was like, EGM's dead. The MMY actually just sat down there and waited. Although I don't really like Venge on MMY. I feel like it's almost not greedy enough of a support, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think that you can do the same things that you can on the Lion, the Spirit Breaker, heroes like that.
Unless he builds into some kind of like damage dealing item. Like, could you even turn him into like a secondary damage item? Like,
no, not in a game like this. You have too many. You already have too many greedy cores.
So just get the control items instead.
Oh, this is so smart. They know everything. They watch this. The Batrider. They have the wards up preemptively. Like they even place a sentry so that he can pull through with the Firefly. It's really good by them. It's gonna slow down the Blink Dagger by a lot, but S4 still almost already has it because he's had a completely free lane. Like the Ember Spirit can't do anything against the Bat. Like, how's he gonna even get aggressive?
Maybe jumps in. MMY is gonna get the stun. EGM. He can pick up over an MMY, but the sticky napalm stacks aren't high enough, and S4's got no more support to really turn anything there. Meanwhile, Admiral Bulldog dies on the top lane. So Sylar rotated over with a couple of raises, and then the Shadow Wave and Shallow Grave. They catch Bulldog out.
I'm surprised that he died there.
Wow, S4. This is... Is this the ultimate greed? He's doing it underneath the dire
Holy
observer ward
shit.
as well. This is not the dream, S4. But he's got Firefly. He might get
Gustav's
caught on
gone.
the cliff. He's down the hillside. The spirits will come. The flame
Oh,
ray
he
pushes
dodged.
baby back. He's actually going to live.
All right, that was that was really greedy, but he manages to pick up almost all of it. That's pretty insane, actually. That
He's got 2,100 gold.
Yeah, that-
7.5 minutes in. Like, both his camps... Actually, this one's not blocked, but he's realizing this one is.
I can't believe that he's alive right now, but he did time that pretty well. Credit to him.
Well, with this camp now, EGM's still going to leech a little bit of the experience off it, but now that Blink Dagger is up for the Bat Rider. I'm wondering where they head next. My mind turns to bottom lane. My mind turns to ganking ROTK before ROTK ganks them.
He's level 6 at a pretty reasonable time, and he's got a decent stack of gold right now. Loda's going to clean up this creep wave. Ake does blast ROTK once, but ROTK should be fine.
This warding.
Is that his Trinkles coming in right now? He needs those. Yeah, it is. Believe that's the Blink Dagger pickup by S4 too. Should
Yeah.
go for the smoke. I would like to see him actually gank the safe lane. If he goes through the SF and give EGM the mid lane, because EGM has to catch up. Think that is the play, and that is exactly what he's going to do. But maybe he's prepared for this. You notice that maybe he is set up to actually get the kill on Bulldog, and then they'll try to take down the tower with all with the SF and the Dazzle. They've got the double stack wave.
Radiant's
Bulldog should
top
see this
tower
coming and
is
just
under
hide.
attack.
Yeah, he's waiting in the tree line. They
They're
ping it
pinging.
out though, and they wave of terror. They
Dire's
see him.
middle tower
They
Rotation's
need a
coming
TP
over,
right
but
now.
Alliance is already here. They don't need a TP when they've got 3 heroes smoked
Oh.
up behind. S4's ready to come. They're looking over towards Sylar. They blink the last two, and they drag him back into the fight and into the Illuminate. It hits CDC with a cooldown from Lauren Dassar being picked up. There's no TPing out this one. He burns in the Firefly. ROTK, I guess, can be cogsawed by EGM. He's not in range. The Flame Break cancels the TP out from DDC. Bulldog may have died, but you just brought down Sylar and Alliance. I don't know if they read that perfectly or they just came up for a gank, but
No, they read that
They-
perfectly. They
they
knew
got
that.
a 2-for-1.
They knew that maybe it was gonna rotate in, so maybe sees the most obvious way that's done is you saw the double wave, right? And the tower's at full HP. The only reason they give the Bristleback that much experience is if they were planning on going for the wraparound, and he sees the Vengeful Spirit come up, so they know that the Ember Spirit's behind, so everybody and their mother rotates in for that. That's the perfect play. It's just reading it for the next step. Like, you notice that Bulldog, as soon as he sees that they stacked up the double wave, he tries to hide in the corner, but LGD reads that situation right there. Like, okay, he's almost certainly there.
And now Bulldog, like, it doesn't even matter if he dies because he's got the Ancients to stack up and farm. Like, he kind of needs the Key of the Light over to give him, like, a little bit more quills, but doesn't fully need it. It just would make life easier. S4 is looking for another moment too, but he's not going to find one. Still no lasso.
That was godlike, though.
Yeah.
They should have been able to get even more there. If Bulldog doesn't die that quickly, they can bait him even further. I don't know how he died. Seemed a little bit fast.
Radiant's
I
bottom
didn't
tower
fully
is
see it
under
either.
attack.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's going to get his Vanguard right now anyways.
Yeah.
He's got a really good amount of farm for being in the off lane.
Alliance are heading north again. It won't work just to walk up there again. Like, Alliance might not actually realize this Observer Ward's here. It's one big thing for LGD, which, like, you praised before with this Observer Ward in the bottom lane, looking and setting up the first blood in EGM, and then the other Observer Wards which watch the Bat Rider camp, and then they plant this next one, which is a little bit more unique now because you can plant this while you're still down the river. So you don't actually have to come to the Radiant side to plant on the hillside.
Loda doesn't really want to be in this bottom area. S4 does have the smoke and his ultimate up. They're going to go for smoke right here. Maybe seems way too difficult of a kill. I think it's a lot easier for them to just track the SF repeatedly and allow EGM to get the mid XP, which is exactly what they're going to do. Because you don't have enough burst damage to kill the Ember Spirit. I think the only way that you do that is if you have like +1. I don't know. Maybe the call down would do it.
They see DDC. He walks too far off the side now. Now they get a glimpse of both Sylar and ROTK. And S4 starts the Firefly. Blink lasso. And ROTK, you're about to be dragged all the way down into the pit. The Illu's prepping, and he actually hook shots up into the Ancients. The Flame Break's going to bounce him around, but
Middle tower is under attack.
ROTK, with the escape, they didn't block. That was kind of like the one angle he had to get out.
Yeah, that was really nice by him. Doesn't hesitate whatsoever. ROTK isn't really known for those kinds of individual plays, but that one was really good. They do get the level 6 now on to EGM, and he's actually level 8. He's been just farming for like the last 3 minutes. He was like level 5 the last time I checked, but he's got Flame Guard up. Level 4, that's going to be incredibly strong against LGD's lineup. Loda up at top. Doesn't have the best CS, but you can kind of understand that because of the amount of times he's been rotating with the rest of his team. It's Ake that's actually just hit level 6.
And now he's going to come under pressure. The Rocket. Okay. He runs out, starts the Illuminate, doesn't actually reveal himself for this. And the Illuminate's only going to chip the back end of the wave, and in fact he just TPs out directly after.
Still a smart play by him. He hides in the side. Maybe he would have dove that otherwise. So there's no way that they can defend that quick enough.
S4's back to farming up the Dire jungle.
LGD is going to take this bottom tower though, 100%.
Yeah.
And then the next tower objective, I don't know, they have ward vision top, but it's much better for them to take mid so they could get control of the jungle against the bat and the gyrocopter. Like, you want to take control of the enemy jungle now if you can. DDC should place a deeper ward into the jungle, and then they should take over this right side, because then it helps them as well when it comes to roshing.
I love the way Alliance, so they're finding ways to stack up inside the rank camp. Like,
Yeah,
Bristleback,
they're going to go for the mid.
okay, so just a tier 1 tower attack?
Yeah, because you wanna try to corral the jungle as much as you can, and it also helps you take Roshan control when you're on the Dire side. Like, they have, you notice that they had ward vision top, but they decided to go for the mid one. Even if it's a little bit riskier, the payoff is a lot better.
This is an Invis Bat Rider. Yeah, she doesn't have any time left on it though. As like I said, there's 1 sentry or 2 sentries over an MMY, but both aren't planted down. So they get the mech, the blade melt, and the treads up before this fight begins. Illuminate spam is still going to keep it, like, the creep waves low, not to mention the heroes of LGD. As now the extra TP comes in from Admiral Bulldog, maybe. That Observer Ward lets him see Bulldog as well as EGM walk forward, but S4 waiting for that moment, and he gets battery assaulted. Tried to go on RTK, who's now going to actually hookshot forward. He wanted to go for the Cogs pushback onto S4.
Oh, this cooldown!
But the cooldown's going to do some serious work with the flag cannon from Loda. The damage is inflicted, and the Illuminate just actually tags on RTK and Sylar. They need more damage, and the Harpy is moving forward, but there's not enough damage from it. Maybe will spirit himself away to safety.
Everybody just walks away with 200 HP on the side of LGD, even with the bottle ticks channeling between them. If S4 could have gone that hook off, or the lasso off, but the preemptive swap, they stun him down, they burst him, he doesn't have the force staff. Does he? No, he's still building up towards it. If he had it, maybe he gets the pick off there. That was a lot of damage too. It's just that Loda doesn't have the required amount of farm to be able to go for a play like that because he's been rotating so much.
It's also because he went for more of a greedy build with the Helm of the Dominator.
Yeah, exactly.
But he still found extra damage. Like, I don't know if you saw that Satyr running around in the fight. It almost picked up a double kill at the end.
Yeah.
Like, if they did just a little bit more damage during the final alliance, they would have picked up both the clock and the VS.
They were just shy of completely destroying that fight. The call down was sick by Loda. It split the wickets.
Is it you actually making a cricketing term?
I don't know. I've just heard that. And that's what we were talking about before, too, with the clockwork timing. If he gets the blade mail before Loda gets big enough, this is when he's going to be the most effective. Like, ROTK can be a beast here.
LGD are going to try and finish the job on this tier 1 tower. Okay, we'll come to defense, but it's already too late. They've got no fortification and no heroes here, so maybe we'll get the last hit. More money coming into this BT first Ember Spirit. Crimson Guard timing, not too shabby for the Bristleback, up to around 16 minutes. Becoming tankier and tankier. They're still missing the mech from that team. I'm assuming that's what RK should be building into next.
No,
or is it worth
I think
getting
Ags is better. The Ags is kind of like a mech too.
S4?
Oh, S4? You...
what?
Gustav?
S4?
Is he just gonna die here because of this?
They see him now. He's bottling up. They wave
no.
Terry. He can't blink. He was there for a ward. If it gets... No, that's the ward's already been placed. What was he there for? Why was he there, Blitz?
I didn't see the lead up to that. I only saw the ending.
Maybe he felt like... I only saw it once he got inside the pit.
I'm sure there was a reason for it, but still, that looked...
slightly odd.
That looked really weird. He just got hit by Roshan like 8 times, and then they see him and kill him. Definitely should not have happened. Ake's gonna blast in, slow this down.
He's screwing with them at least. It's buying time for the attack to come in mid, as well as Loda to farm up on the top lane.
gonna get another
If
blast
this-
off.
hang on, can he
I bet he
actually-
steals it.
Yeah,
I bet he
it'll-
steals it.
15.
Oh no, he's like half a second off, not even.
RTK is searching for him though.
RTK's got hooked too.
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't have a TP, he's dead.
Yep. 1300 gold. He's got Blinding Light though. Pushes RTK out, goes for the run, but Sleight of Fist Searing Chain will control him. He buys a Staff of Whiskery before his death, so it's not going to be the mech. It could still be the Aghanim Scepter. It could also be a 4-staff up against the Clockwork. But the Aghanims is like, it makes more sense because you got Blinding Light.
Yeah. 4-staff's pretty cool too with Mana Leak. Loda has to go for the BKB first now. The Blade Mail has been online for too long. This Blade Mail Clockwork ruins a lot of Alliance's plans. And before S4 gets a 4-staff, I don't know if they can take a fight.
Does Bulldog also go in for the BKB build, or is there other form? Does he just tank up instead? Like
I think
armor
you're just
and tank.
I think you're just armor and tank. The problem though is that he's the only core that's surviving, but his catch potential isn't that great. Like, he needs the rest of his team alive to be able to do this. For LGD, all it's about is thinning out numbers, and that's where the Clockwork having this quick of a Blade Mail comes in so handy. Because all he has to do is isolate either the Batrider or the Rubik, and if he can burst down either of those heroes, almost all the crowd control from Alliance is gone, and the fights become so easy for a player like Maybe, for example. Like, this is an Ember Spirit that they haven't even touched yet. Because if you notice, their team just lacks disables or catch.
LGD, easy tier 1 tower on the top lane. There's that 4-staff you're talking about, but RK dead after maybe initiates on him, and an Admiral Bulldog not really having a great time either. Maybe he's just going to walk himself out. That's an extra Spirit. S4, he misses on the jump. He tried to get the last 2 on Maybe, but misses, and now LGD, they can counter-initiate. Hook shot down on top of Bulldog. What can you still? Only Battery Assault. That's not going to save Admiral Bulldog. He can work his way out of the cogs, but they swap him back up into the fight of LGD. It's nice telekinesis stun, but it's still not enough to save that Bristleback. And they're looking for more. The TP out from EGM. They 4-staff up. Where's the stun? The Sleight of Fist and Chains. There you go. EGM down for the count. And 11-2. Now it's LGD's turn just to roll with their momentum, and they're going to go straight down that mid lane. Looks like we're going to 5 if this keeps going on.
At this rate, I think the lineup might be a little bit too difficult for Alliance to run. I think we should wait for Judgment before the BKB on the Gyrocopter, but if that comes out, they lose the fight, then I would feel comfortable saying that LGD is most likely going to win this game. They're not out of it yet, Alliance, not nearly, but it is starting to get really dicey. Like, it's a 5,000 net worth lead for them. They still don't have any real way to deal with Maybe. He's eventually going to get that Battle Fury and become much stronger. The Shadow Fiend now has a fully completed BKB, and they've got the Dire side, so they can always just go for the Roshan constantly.
Alliance need a way to get out for it. Like, how do they contest it? You can try and play for the vision battle, but the supports of LGD are just so loaded. They're like, you can just keep buying sentries or even get a gem up. In fact, it's around that time where RK was looking to buy the gem last time, but this time it's a little bit later. And LGD, they're grouping up again. Like, you got to Aegis the Immortal for another minute and a half, roughly. So you should be able to take the tier 2 tower with that, or at least force some kind of reaction out of Alliance, be it mid or bottom.
The DD rune plus the BKB completed on the SF. I think that you go for this. You know that Alliance can't fight into you, even with the Batrider lasso. You're not too concerned about it, and they know that Loda isn't strong enough to contest them either. There's no way that Loda wants to fight before he gets his BKB. Like, you want to find out what happens when you have the max amount that you can get.
Well, here comes your tier 2 tower down. Hook shot. They call Bulldog. Sylar can make quick work of this. Blinding Light can push him back, but Bulldog can't work his way out of the cogs. The call down actually going to hit almost all 5 heroes of LGD, but you've still lost 2 of Alliance. RTK 4-staffed away to safety. As Sylar with his BKB up, chasing up the Bulldog. The Sleight of Fist Searing Chains will hold Loader in position. This BKB gets delayed a long, long way. And in fact, LGD, with the creep wave now arriving, they get Blinding Lighted, but they can still keep this push going. Mana of Life is good for them. And they're actually looking for a Sleight of Fist Chain, and they got one. It's S4. The 4-staff up, and now the Cogs trap. S4 is going to get pushed back out. So he's away to safety back in his base.
Still have the Aegis though, and look like S4 wanted to go for that. Almost no chance. ROTK even preemptively pops the Blade Mail. Radiant structures are going to get fortified, but that'll be the... No, Sylar still has the Aegis, and now it times out. I think LGD are going to re-engage. They've got mana and HP.
They just got the Battle Fury also arrived for maybe. If Alliance don't notice this and they group up, it could be terrible for them. Sylar's still got... Okay, he doesn't have the BKB, but he's letting the Requiem of Souls go. Cancels at the last moment, as Alliance not really fully committing. And now as they're going to walk near the high ground, he can turn for the Razor Slider Fist doing the work, and RTK goes straight through them. Alliance, where is these cogs? It's still on cooldown. The Battery Assault Blade Mail, they're too close to fight, and there's your Slider Fist again. Loader's going to go down. A triple kill for maybe. You can lasso and drag him back, but the VS swaps out. Stuns up S4, and LGD, they have pitched their flag, and China currently own the Alliance base to a point where Alliance tap out and move to a new continent.
Yeah, GG is called. LGD, pretty dominant performance. There was like a small bright spot for Alliance where their 3 cores were actually getting a lot of farm. The Bat Rider had